Imagine you're on a baseball team and half the kids on the team really think that they're there just to have fun. That's the most important thing. While the other half of the kids think that the most important thing is to win games. And that's why they're really there. Tell me, is that going to be a great team to be on? Well, believe it or not, this is exactly the situation that a lot of writers are in. My name is Brad Paquette. This is the Company Podcast. Stick around. Find out what I mean. So imagine you're on that baseball team where half the kids think that the goal is to have fun and the other half think that the goal is to win a lot of baseball games. Well, chances are that you're neither having fun nor are you winning baseball games. It won't take long for your teammates to be very frustrated with each other and everybody loses. It's really the job of the team's coach, and this is true for any team really, to make sure that everyone shares the same mission. Everybody's aligned towards a common goal. The whole team needs to be pointed in the right direction. If you think about it, the team really can't answer a question like, what's the right decision, unless they know what the mission is. Let's say that somebody poses a question like, it's really hot. Let's stop practice early and go eat popsicles. Well, if the mission of the team is to have fun and make friends, then that's a great idea. Absolutely. Stop practice early when it's too hot and everybody's miserable and just go eat popsicles. But if the mission of the team is to win baseball games, the answer is probably no. That is not the right decision. The right thing depends on what the mission is. So one of my apprentices here, Vela Carmen, has been working on a very cool anthology called Fantastical Summer, which will come out on June 19th. And we've had a very similar conversation to this many times in the course of producing Fantastical Summer. By the way, you can check it out on Amazon right now and pre-order it. But Vela has managed the book production process from start to finish. She started with advertising submissions and collecting submissions for people, choosing the stories that'll go in the book, editing those stories, doing the design, and now we're working on the final distribution of the book. And whenever she came to a crossroads and she had to make a difficult decision, I would ask her, what's the mission for this book? When I first forced her to recall what the mission was, what was her top priority for this project, then usually the best answer became clear. Usually the back and forth, the waffling stopped because it became obvious what the right answer was. James 1 talks about a person who isn't clear on his mission. So the whole chapter is about a man that is asking for wisdom from God, but is also doubting. And it says, he is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. And that's James 1:8. Double-minded means that you want two things at the same time. Coincidentally, this is also how I define an internal conflict when we're talking about writing. A person with an internal conflict wants two things at the same time in such a way that he cannot have them both. That divided baseball team is inside of you, and you are the coach. Here's the irony. A team that only wants to have fun and works really well together might actually come together and win games. By the same token, winning itself is pretty fun, and a team that dedicates itself to winning games might actually end up having a good time and making some friends on the team. But you have to choose one or the other. If you try to do both at the same time, you'll end up with neither. But if you choose one specifically, you might end up with both. A mission statement is simply stating what your mission is. It's saying what the most important thing is. For instance, our mission on this baseball team is to make friends and have fun. I use mission statements in my head all the time, even for little things. It makes my life and my decision-making so much easier. For instance, if I need to fix something around the house, is it my mission to get it done efficiently? Or is it my mission to teach one of my kids how to do it? Or is it my mission to let all my kids participate and get a little experience and have fun doing it? Different circumstances require a different mission. How urgent is this repair that I need to do, for instance, will determine my mission. But when I decide what the mission is ahead of time, I don't have to feel bad about the decision that I make later on. If I decide that the mission here is that this is an urgent repair and my job is just to get it done as quickly and efficiently as I can, well, then I don't have to feel bad when my kids come along and want to help and I tell them not today. And by the same token, if it's not an urgent repair and it doesn't matter that much and I let my kids help and maybe it doesn't turn out quite as good as it would if I had just done it myself, I don't have to feel bad because the mission was to let my kids help. So my question to you is, do you have a mission statement for your writing? It's really, really easy to be double-minded with our writing. Most writers live in this world where we kind of want to become published with our work and do it professionally. We also just kind of want to have fun and express ourselves. And it wouldn't be bad. We kind of also want to make friends with our work. Now, just like that baseball team, if you pick one of those things, there's a good chance that you might end up accomplishing some of the others at the same time. But if you'd never pick what's most important, you'll end up with an internal conflict and you'll probably end up frustrated. Jesus said something similar in Matthew 12:25. He said, "Every city or house divided against itself will not stand." You might be asking a question like, should I go to this writing conference? Well, there's really no right or wrong answer to that question. And if you don't know what your mission is, you're probably going to feel really conflicted and back and forth on it. However, once you identify what your mission is, then you can make a good decision. For what it's worth, writers' conferences are a great way to make friends with your writing. They're a great way to have fun with your writing, but they're not very helpful in actually getting published, despite what conference organizers usually claim. So if your mission is to have fun or make friends with your writing, heck yeah, go to the conference. That's the right answer for you. By the same token, you might be asking a question like, should I follow this system for organizing my novel project, or should I just write what I want? Again, there's no right answer. There's no morally universal right answer. It depends on what you're trying to do. Are you just here to express yourself, or are you trying to write a market publishable book? So I encourage you to prayerfully craft your mission statement for your writing. Here's the thing. There can't be any ands in your mission statement either. It can't be like, I want to do this and this and this. You got to pick one thing. That's the purpose of the mission statement. So, what is the most important thing you want to accomplish with your writing? What's the one thing that if you don't do anything else, you want to make sure you do this one thing? Other good things may happen too. But when push comes to shove, what are you here for? What's important to you? There's really no wrong answer to this question. It's important that you're honest with yourself when you answer it. Don't try to give the answer that you think is right. You need to honor your own heart and your own intentions for this, or it will continue to cause that same internal conflict. It's okay to just write for fun if that's what you want to do. It's also okay to really want to get paid for your writing, to get published professionally. That's all right. So ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. There is no better resource to help you in this process. When you set a mission statement, what you decide is not forever. It should really be wet cement. It's permanent enough that you're not going to change it just because things got hard or you're in a different mood tomorrow. However, your mission can evolve and update from time to time in your life. I know that mine has. If you're single-minded, I think that you can accomplish anything. But just like James says in the first chapter there, he says that a double-minded man should not assume that he will receive anything. So, what's your mission for your writing? Thank you so much for listening today. Please be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen and leave us a review. This podcast was produced by Theo Paquette with help from the company. For help with your podcast, visit writers.company. We'd love to give you a hand.